Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of Passion Yarns, the podcast. This is Sunday, March 22nd, 2020. And I am not even pretending that this is not how I'm looking every single day, okay? So, I did brush my hair, but no makeup, still in my jammies. Yep, still in my jammies. This is what we've been doing for about half of the week. And that's, I think, what everybody is doing. There's a whole lot of us who are hanging out at home and just sitting in our jammies. I happen to be working from home, but I'm sitting in my jammies. So we'll go ahead and go on with the podcast for today. Again, this is Passion Yarns, and our website is passionyarns.com. We are a small independent yarn dyeing company. And my yarns are all up on that website, although I have a lot of stuff that's not up there yet, so we're going to be working on that. There's going to be some time to do those kind of things too. I wanted to remind everybody that March is our anniversary month. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and we do have a coupon for a 20% off any of the yarns that you purchase on our website. We've had some people who've taken advantage of that, so make sure that you do that. That's going to be good through March 31st. You want to make sure that you go onto our website, passionyarns.com, and take a look at what we've got on there. And if you have any questions about anything, you can always contact me at passionyarns@gmail.com. So, to move on with updates on everything, based on what's going on right now with the coronavirus. We've had shows that have canceled. Our Greencastle, Indiana show, which is set up for April 17th and 18th, has been canceled. I really believe that that's the right thing to do based on how things are going right now. We haven't heard anything about the May show, which is in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. It's Shepherd's Harvest. I'm imagining, though, that they will decide that they're going to close down and not have that show. We're kind of anticipating that, and then we'll wait to see what happens with Stitches Midwest. That's here in Schaumburg in the Chicago, Illinois area, and that show is set to be July 30th through August 2nd. So we're kind of figuring, well, we're waiting to see what's going to happen, to see if everything calms down by then. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the coronavirus thing. I know that everybody is more than aware of what's going on and how coronavirus has really impacted the entire world. I personally work for a private school, a private college. We transitioned and transferred all of our classes to online learning last Monday on March 16th, so that we don't have our students on campus. This coming week would have been their spring break, so they would not have had any instruction this week. But we got an announcement on Friday from the president of our school that our classes will continue to be online through the rest of the semester. They have not determined what's going to happen as far as commencement is concerned. We usually have our graduation ceremonies happen in May. So we'll have to see what happens with that, and how we're going to be able to celebrate those students who have gone through 4 or 5 years of school and are getting ready to graduate. That's a big deal, to have worked that hard and to get to the point where you're graduating and starting your life. And we would like to celebrate them in whatever way it is that we can. So hopefully something like that will happen. Like I said, I'm working from home, and according to my supervisor, that is something that is going to be an indefinite situation, depending upon how everything goes. Of course, I live in Illinois, and our governor announced on Friday that we were going to have a shelter-in-place order that went into effect yesterday and Saturday at 5 p.m. Except for those who are considered essential or have essential jobs. So it's going to be places like grocery stores and pharmacies and gas stations and any of those other essential services that are providing supplies, and most specifically, especially medical supplies, that they remain open and continue to work. In my family, that means that my son, who works for a plastic injection molding company who does some supplies for medical companies, will continue to work. My youngest daughter, who is a security guard at a federal facility, will also continue to work. And my husband, who works for a company that provides equipment and parts for the oil industry, will continue to work at his job. Others we're not so sure about in our family, but we're grateful for those who are in our family who are continuing to work. I'm very grateful for not having to go into work based on my age and my own medical condition. I'm grateful that I'm going to be able to stay at home, and I stay at home. Since Wednesday, I've been inside my house except for a brief period of time yesterday where I stayed in the car. So I don't want to be around anybody. I don't want to get this illness, and I don't want to spread it to anybody else. So I'm grateful to be able to be at home and hope that none of those things happen to me. So then the big question, since we're all spending so much time at home, is what is it that we're going to do? I raised my children. I'm really glad I don't have kids at this time. But I know that there are a lot of people who do. And I have seen on Facebook and online various websites on lots of different options on things to do with your kids. So please, if you have children at home, check out those, see what it is that you can do with your children to keep them entertained and to keep yourself sane. My daughter was crazy after the first day. So we'll see how all that goes. But I thought that I would put together some things that that I found online that maybe you could do just to give you a little bit of an idea. And I put that all in a video. So I'm going to play that now, and I hope that you enjoy that part. Let's talk about things to do while we're all under quarantine. According to the USA Today, there are some things that you can choose to do that you might find to be a lot of fun. One is complete a puzzle. Pull out those old jigsaw puzzles that you've had in your closet and try one. Maybe try a big one. Take the time to learn how to complete the Rubik's Cube. Or maybe even look at a crossword puzzle. Maybe start a journal or a blog. Write everything down that you're going through. If it doesn't bother your neighbors, pull out that old instrument that you learned to play a long time ago. Dust it off and practice some more. Maybe learn to write some poetry. How about crafting a haiku for Mother's Day? Or something without a specific structure. Just give it a try. This is the perfect time to finally get around to reading those really large books that you put off because you didn't have time. Pull out The Stand, Ulysses, or maybe even War and Peace. Learn to meditate. Spend about 20 minutes sitting cross-legged and repeat a soothing word to yourself in your head. Or lie down with your eyes closed, palms up, and while focusing on your breathing. Learn to write in calligraphy. There are a lot of beautiful websites and YouTube videos to help with that. Get into baking. Maybe make some of those great recipes from the Great British Baking Show. While we're waiting for Tom Hanks to get better, how about pulling out all those Tom Hanks movies and watching them all in chronological order? Clean, organize, and declutter your home. Get rid of those things that don't bring you the KonMari joy. And of course, knit and crochet. Spend your time making something beautiful. Maybe prepare for Christmas. Or just go crazy. But let's wash our hands, maintain social distancing, and make America healthy. So I hope that gives you some ideas on what it is that you can do to spend your time, maybe do some things that you haven't done before. I personally would like to, of course I am working, but in any of the other extra time that I might have, I really wanted to learn some computer coding. And so I found a lot of videos on YouTube about that, so I'm hoping to learn how to do that. And of course, there's all of my crafting things that I have to do that I want to continue to do during this quarantine time. So we'll go on to my own works in progress. I have pretty much narrowed everything that I'm doing down to just a couple of different things. So I'll share that with you now. The first one I'm going to talk about is my first sweater. Now this is a sweater I started about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, something like that, that I've been working on. And it's a very simple sweater. It is front and back that are identical to one another, and then some sleeves that you attach, and then sew up the seams. So it's a really simple sweater. This is where I am so far. I kind of put these together so I could get the sizing together. But this is well, the front or the back, it doesn't matter. They're all essentially the same. So it starts off with a ribbing, 2x2 ribbing, 3x2 ribbing on the bottom. It's all stockinette for the whole body. I did mark where the here, these little, not these, but these little markers, there we go, markers for where the sleeve will start. But then it goes up to a broken rib on the top here. It's a couple of inches, and then it's a bind off. So I've got one full one done, and I've got the second one almost done. I probably have, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 rows to finish that one, to bind it off. Then I'm going to do the sleeves, and I'll do those together at the same time so that I make sure, I'm going to use 2 balls, so I make sure that I get them exactly the same size. And then it's just going to be a matter of seaming up the shoulders, seaming up the sides, sewing the sleeves in, as it's a drop sleeve, sewing the sleeves in and sewing the bottom of the seam of the sleeves up. So this should be done, hopefully. Yay, I might have another finished project by the time we meet again. Wouldn't that be exciting? So again, this is my first sweater. It is a pattern by Marley Bird. It is a free pattern. You can get that right now on the Red Heart website. It was designed for a Red Heart yarn, but that's not what I'm using. I'm using the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. This is a worsted weight size 4 yarn, and this color is medium blue, and I'm using a size 9 needle to make that sweater. So I'm really looking forward to doing it. I think the next time that I make it, I'm going to just knit in the round all the way for this sweater, so that it'll just be easier. I won't have to do any of the seaming, and then it will be just a matter of just putting the sleeves in. So that will be what I wanted to do. Of course, I started a new project. I'm really sorry. I try not to, but then I do it anyway. I had decided that I would like some kind of a open front poncho sort of thing, but I wanted it to be like a Rouen sort of thingy-dingy. Anyway, I started something with some yarn that was in my stash. I've got, this is, oh gosh, I should have done this at the end of a row, shouldn't I have? Anyway, this is, I started off with 2 inches of garter stitch, and I'm just doing it in stockinette. So there you can see it's just in stockinette stitch. And I will, I'm planning on doing some color work sections, some stripes of color work with some black and white sport weight yarn that I have on hand already, just to give it some interest, so it's not all this just one color. But it should be pretty. This yarn is something that I got at Stitches. many years ago, and I got them in some big bags, so I got many skeins of them. Probably was thinking I would do a sweater, but that's not what I did. This is from Universal Yarns. It is called Bella DK. It's acrylic. It is a kind of a turquoise color, and their colorway was a number, so this is number 19 for this colorway. And then the other colors that I plan on using is I have some. I love this yarn Sport from Hobby Lobby in both black and white, and that's what I have them here, so I can show you. Well, I have this one without. This is the white one. I have it without the label, but here's the label for I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby Sport Weight and in black. So I will be doing those as those stripes, the colorwork stripes on there. So those are my works in progress. Now, one of the benefits of having to be at home so much is that, and to have the shows canceled, if there's going to be a benefit for having the shows canceled, is that I had some time to clean my craft room. And I promised you that I would show you what it looks like once I have had a chance to clean it. So I'll show you what my craft room looks like. It may not look clean, but trust me, it is clean. And it doesn't stay clean for very long, so I made sure that I did videos as soon as I did it. Also, I'm showing you my my work area. So unfortunately, when I have to go to work, I have to actually walk from my crafting desk to my computer desk across the room. It's exhausting. But I'll show you how all of those work. And then I wanted to give you a little bit of a video about what my dye studio looks like, which is my laundry room. But I have it all set up to be able to dye. So I made a video of that, and I hope you enjoy. Well, welcome to my craft room. We're going down from the stairs on the second floor. This is a bookcase where I keep all of my various crafting supplies. That includes beads and glue and styrofoam balls, and you can see there's my my sticker maker, beading supplies, and floral supplies. Around here on these shelves are all of my yarn. I know this looks really messy, but trust me, it's much cleaner than what it was. That's my spinning wheel there on the bottom. I have yarn that's everywhere from different sizes of acrylic to wool blends, cotton that I've accumulated over the years. In that shelving unit is where my knitting needles and crochet hooks are. And this is my work table. Yes, I was watching Shrek. These are where my ribbons are. This is the area where I've been making all of the ribbon roses for my daughter's wedding. You can see there are some there in that little box. We're here pictures of all of my family. I love them all so very much, and it makes me happy to see them. In these drawers down here on the bottom are things like acrylic paints, polymer clay, scrapbooking supplies, that sort of thing. And then there's paper supplies in that white shelving unit right there. You see there's the arch for the wedding. And here are some yarns that I've been working on that still need to be skeined up. Really like those colors. They're very pretty. There you can see, I wanted to show you a little bit more of those yarns because they are very pretty. And there's my books, my craft books. I have a lot of that are digital, but I also have a lot that are in paper copy. So I like seeing those. Here's what I intended to be my sewing supplies area, but it was kind of taken over by my computer. There's different sewing things like scraps of fabric and thread, fiberfill, that sort of thing. This is now my work area where I have to walk across the room from my crafting table to get to work. It is exhausting. Some other various supplies right here. Then around the corner here, I wanted to show you what my dye studio looks like. This is the place where I'm able to dye my yarn. I'm going to turn on the light here real quick, but there is there are my pots, and when I dye in my pots, and then I also dye in the roasting pans there. You'll see my yarn in stock and some of my other supplies there on the top. And those jars are my dye solution. That's what I've already gotten ready to be used for dyeing, and that's how I mix it all up, is in those mason jars right there. This is the table that I dye on, and I use these burners to heat up the water because dyeing requires acid and hot water. And this is the cabinet or the cart where I keep all of my powdered dyes. This is, and various supplies. This is where I can find those dyes to mix up there with my citric acid. And that blue thing there is my spinner. That's what I use to get all the water out of my yarn. And there's my beautiful utility sink that my husband made for me with a wonderful, wonderful tap on it. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff. I have many, many years of collecting of that stuff. So, of course, you understand why I have so much of it. Sometimes it is too much, but not too much yarn. I don't care what anybody says. You probably saw that I have some skeins of some yarn that I've dyed that I have yet to skein up. That's there too. So that stuff will be going up on the website pretty soon. But that's kind of how my space looks like. It makes me very happy to be there. I'm surrounded by the things that I love, and I have photos of the people that I love, and that's just my happy place. And I hope you have a happy place too. I wanted to go on with a little of the other things that are in my life. Our knit group. Now, of course, our knit group all of our meetings have been canceled because our library closed, which is where our meeting place was. And frankly, it's better that we don't get together. There are those of us in a various age range. And again, we don't want to spread any kind of illness to anybody, and we don't want to be getting any of that illness either. So we decided that we were not going to be meeting. One of our members did suggest that we try to do maybe a video chat kind of thing. And so I'm going to see if I can work that out, if I can figure out how we can do that so everybody would be able to at least see each other, and we can see how everybody is and what's going on. So hopefully that's going to be in the work. Then for the wedding, honestly, I'm a little bit nervous about where we are going with the wedding. I know it's not until August, but we don't know how long this coronavirus is going to last, or the effects of it. So we're not really sure how things are going to work out, but we're just going to keep working at it as though it's going to happen. If we have to have her wedding with just our family, 12 of us, that'll be fine. We'll be all good with that. I would be just happy to see her get married. Or if nobody can come from out of state, which many of our guests are from out of state, and we have to do it with just a few of us here who are in Illinois, then we'll do that. But we will celebrate their wedding, and we will celebrate gaining our new son, and we'll enjoy the time as best we can, no matter what it is that happens. That's the thing about being an American and about being a Midwesterner too, is we're pretty solid. We'll flow with whatever needs to be flowed with. If there are restrictions, we'll work within the restrictions. We'll do whatever it is that we need to do. So I hope that everyone in your family as well, I hope you're finding things to do that are enjoyable and productive, and that you're facing this crisis and this time with the understanding that we're working together. As Americans, we're working together, and we're going to get through it. We'll get on the other side of it. And this will be just a memory that we'll have in the future. I just wanted to say thank you so much for spending your time here with me, and for taking the time out of your day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my craft room. Isn't that fun? And that you're dealing with your circumstances as best you can. Please stay safe and stay healthy. And we will see you here next time at Passion Yarns, the podcast.